some of the other things like, at least in terms of, a little bit more, I guess, a little less stress.
CBD.
Exactly. There's other options out there if you want to stay away from medications. But do you have anybody in your life that you can reach out to?
Yeah, I've got a really good support system. I am bipolar as well. And
okay, I understand you.
Yeah. And and anxiety disorder and complex PTSD. So I think being close to people is hard. So I think not necessarily that I don't deserve their friendship, but I'm afraid of losing it. Or if I feel like I wasn't in control of myself or I did something stupid, I'm afraid I'm going to lose the friendship. So it's incredibly painful, even though later they're like, well, that was so stupid. We didn't even think twice about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like I'm hurting anybody.
Right.
I think what we were talking about earlier about being honest, it's to be honest with your friends and to say, hey, I'm feeling this way. I'm a little bit anxious. And you said this last week. Can you clarify what's going on? Just because I feel like, and I think people do appreciate that. I think when we're honest with those around us, because I know I've had times where I said, hey, I don't know what's going on. And the person clarified it. And I was able to go, oh, okay, it was in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other person says, I thought you were mad at me, and
right.
It's all perception, right? Because I think we're not as bad as we think we are. I think we don't give ourselves enough credit. And for me, everyone's different, but I find writing, like journaling and writing, to be huge to get process all those feelings out. Mm-hmm. That really helps me tremendously.
It's good advice. A lot of times, and what on Facebook Live, Karen Badia says it's difficult for those of us that deal with insecurities and self-esteem issues, but that's all part of a healing process as well, unless someone has a specific disorder. And my advice also is, if you feel like you're surrounded by people that you can't just be yourself around and you're feeling judged, you might be having the wrong set of friends, first of all. Mm-hmm. They say you can't please everybody, or can't please everyone, so you got to please yourself. I don't know. You got to be able to be around people that love you for who you are and that will accept you for your mistakes and love you for your faults, not in spite of them, and where you don't have to try so hard to not be, you. I mean, there's a lot of people that you're kind of crazy, so to speak, that would love you as is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, there's billions of people. You all get it. It's like when you said I live with bipolar. Kirk's right there. Oh, I understand you now. It doesn't mean that you need to change. Maybe you need to change the people around you if you're not feeling like you're, that you're able to be yourself.
I would say one more thing, Jennifer, one aspect, I think it was maybe 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I had a really, really bad experience on Twitter because there's a person that I looked up to and thought was a really trusted individual. There were actually two of them. One of them I have mended things with and we were awesome. The other person kind of, cut me off, and there wasn't an ability to figure out why did this happen. It was just such an aggressive and from that experience, what I decided I was going to do is I was not going to ever say things that I was ever going to be ashamed of. I wasn't going to post anything I would ever be ashamed of. I didn't want to hurt anybody ever. It was a long journey, and that was 3 years ago. And I think last year is the first year that I didn't have a single text that I sent that was mean. I didn't have a post. Everything that I do on social media is public. If I can't post it to everybody, there are times when I'll post something. And Twitter is actually kind of my journal. So a lot of times I'll stick something up there, and if I'm upset, I'll put it up and I'll just delete it right away. It's kind of a way for me to publicly voice something, but I always make sure, even if I'm angry or upset, that the words I'm using wouldn't ever come back to me in a way that I was embarrassed or ashamed of them. And by kind of like making sure I do that, it was a baby step process, but now I have a little bit less worry about what other people think, because I know that if somebody dislikes me or sends me an angry message, it's not most likely because of me. And then if they do that, typically I'll reach out right away. One thing I would definitely tell people, that are dealing with anxiety and social anxiety is the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Mm-hmm. So if you're worried about something, reach out right away and do it you can do it kindly and just say, did I do something to offend you? And if I did, I'm so sorry. Please communicate with me.
Most of the time you probably misunderstood. And I don't mean to cut you off, Kirk. We're out of time. So we got to 2 minutes warning here. And I want to say thank you to Jennifer, and all of your advice is really great. And thank you for calling in and for taking the time to call in, Jen. And I hope this helped. And please be safe. And thank you so much. And for you guys, thank you so much for the show. Ed, do you have some last second words? Every time Ed pops up in the camera, I know he wants to say something. It's like an oops. Okay, so anyway, David Aguilera, James Prescott, Kirk Patrick Miller, thank you so much for being on Moments of Clarity. Thank you for behind the scenes, for building Beyond Me, and for the MOC team. Everybody, so much. Thank you so much. Please follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/MOC with Tiffany. We're really trying to gain subscribers to end the stigma on mental health. And for everyone, be kind to yourself and a stranger. You never know what they're going through. And tomorrow I got Dr. David Sussman on. We're going to talk about ways to cope during mental health during the pandemic. And he's a great professor from University of Kentucky. He's awesome. So everyone have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for your time. Be kind to yourself and to others. You never know what they're going through. Love yourself. And see you guys tomorrow at noon. Bye.
Put in the time, you'll see how you grow. Many kinds of love you get to